Guys, it's your boy a.dTHEweeb back with another video. Now in today's video we're gonna be doing with Naruto was like Tobi part 2, part 1, my bad. Well, anyways, get this whole video 25 like for next part, and some people have done with Naruto was like Obito but not Tobi, so I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to ever do this. But yeah, anyways, let me know if I'm wrong or not, because I could be wrong, but yeah, I checked the other day and I saw a bunch of Obito ones, but not Tobi. So yeah. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this video, and yeah, without further ado, let's just get the video started. This one off with Minato using the Reaper Death Seal to seal away the Nine-Tails demon fox inside of the newborn triplets Naruto, Menma, and Mito, as he would seal away the whole Nine-Tails soul inside of Naruto and 50% of the chakra, as well as then he split the other 50% to into two pieces to be like 25, and seal them into Menma and Mito, as Minato's lifeless body would fall on the ground dead, as basically he dies. Then in Kushina as well, she also dies. Then we see Jiraiya and Tsunade come and pick up Menma and Mito, as they see the seal on them, basically showing on the stomach and shit like that. They think that they are the child prophecy that they heard of many years ago, as Naruto's seal was not showing due to him having the soul, and the soul keeping the chakra from going wild and basically activating the seal and whatnot. As they would look at Naruto with hateful eyes, basically, as he had blonde hair like the two other twins, but the tip of it was basically black, as they would start to think that he had the bad part of the family, basically due to him not having the hair of the same color hair and other reasons. But they're pretty stupid, so I'm not really gonna try and come up with like a real reasonable reason. But yeah, anyways, basically making them start to basically neglect Naruto, as we skip to a 3-year-old Naruto who has been absolutely hated and was never given the time of day, as Naruto always just ignored the hate and either return with fake love or not respond. As then we see Naruto walking down from his quote-unquote room, but it was more like an attic, as then he would basically go down and see Menma and Mito being trained by Jiraiya and Tsunade, mostly Tsunade focusing on Mito and Jiraiya focusing on Menma. As he would run to the kitchen, as then he would take a piece of bread, as he would run back upstairs and quickly eat it. Then Jiraiya would sorry about that. Then Jiraiya and all of the others would come to his room, but again it's more like an attic, as they would basically come upstairs, just open the door to see Naruto with no shirt on and a lot of cuts and bruises on his skin, as Naruto would look up to see them and say, "Is it time for the next torture session?" As they would say no, but they all had a pretty evil smirk on their face, as Naruto would be kind of worried about that, but he wouldn't really be able to do anything, as yeah, they would be torturing Naruto at the time. So yeah, they'll be like cutting his skin, like they pretty much grab a knife or something, and like sort of peeling his skin off and stuff like that. Basically, that's what I mean by torture session. Anyways, then so basically, Mema would walk up to him and say, "Demon, you're finally going to get what you deserve." As then Naruto got kicked in the face by Mito, as he was slammed to the ground, and as he was trying to get up, but Mema was basically started to step on his face, stopping him from getting up. As then Mito made one chakra chain that she was barely able to make, like it was really weak as well, and bind Naruto by wrapping it around him. But since Naruto wasn't really fed well or anything, like, he would take like a piece of bread every like, 2 days. So yeah, he was really weak. As basically it basically bind Naruto, as then it lifted him up as Jiraiya made our Sengun and slammed it into Naruto's guts, destroying and moving some organs. As then you know how Naruto slammed our Sengun into pain and all that? You know how there was like a whole mark of it basically moving shit around in him? Basically that's what happened. As basically the chain would vanish as Tsunade kicked him away, sending him to the roof into the streets of Konoha. Then we see Naruto on the ground with lots of blood leaking from his mouth. As then Naruto used all of his strength in his body to get up and slowly try getting to safety, but he couldn't. He just collapsed to the ground, being in no shape to move. As then we see a kid with waving black hair walk up to him, and if you for some reason don't know what that is, let me see. Oh fuck, it's just basically Sasuke. As he would walk up to him, as Naruto looked up and slowly muttered our help in total desperation in his voice and pleading eyes. But then the boy did some hand signs and says 5-star fireball jutsu, as he would launch a stream of fire, but it wasn't that big to him not mastering the fireball yet. It was just like a tiny spark. As it would hit Naruto, but to his surprise, was stopped by an orange chakra which came out and protected him. As then it shot at the boy, at the waving black hair, basically at Sasuke. It shot at Sasuke as the chakra sank into the Sasuke's body. As then we see Sasuke started to scream as he was clutching onto his eyes, as he basically he was then grabbed by a group of villagers, about 50 to be honest, and yeah, he was basically taken away by a giant group of villagers, which was at least about 50 villagers. As basically what happened was the chakra of the Nine Tails went up to Sasuke's eyes and started eating away at his eyes, making him basically, you know how if you use the Sharingan, the Mangekyo, you go blind and shit like that. It's basically what's happening to Sasuke. But yeah, without him having to activate he won't be able to activate the Mangekyo and shit like that, basically. As then the group of villagers take Sasuke away, as the giant group of villagers then try to attack Naruto, as he was absolutely horrified, but then was shocked as a swirling vortex appeared between him and the villagers, and the swirling vortex do something like this, but like bigger. So yeah. Anyways, basically that happened, and yeah, the swirling vortex appeared in front of them, and basically between the villagers and him, as a man with orange mask and a black and red cloak came out. As then he looked at the villagers who looked confused, but then a blade came from another swirling vortex. As then the man ran to the villagers, slaughtering all of the villagers in seconds. As then the man surprisingly had absolutely no blood on him, not even a drop of blood or on him or on his sword. He would walk up to the unconscious Naruto and pick him up, as then they'll both get sucked away in a swirling vortex. As we skip a couple of days later, Naruto will wake up to see, no, not Naruto wake up. We see Naruto basically who was lying on a bed, not a comfortable bed. It was the same bed that Madara used to experiment on Obito and whatnot. As the mask man used a white zetsu and to put some basically some piece of it into Naruto, where the organs and stuff like that he lost was supposed to be. As Naruto woke up and see the same man in the orange mask, as he would say, "So you finally woke up?" As Naruto would say, "Who are you?" As the man would say, "I am Obito Uchiha, but this isn't important. I have to ask you, what is your dream?" As Naruto would say, "I don't know." As Obito would smirk, as he say, I will give you a dream, well, two actually. And the reason why Obito is doing this is because he is sick. He has Itachi's sickness, but his is like much worse, so he would die within a week. So yeah. Anyways, basically he said, "I actually have two dreams for you." As Naruto would barely sit down and say, "So what are they?" Basically, as then Obito would go on to explain a plan, but not the Infinite Security plan, a different plan, but I will not be telling you guys what it is until later on. As basically he would say, Naruto would say, "Okay, I will do it." As then Naruto would say, "What about the second one?" But before Obito could answer, a girl would enter the room. As Naruto and the girl is basically this one right here. This is basically the girl that entered the room. As Naruto say, fuck, mess it up. As Naruto would basically be staring at the girl intensely, as then to everyone's surprise, he would say, "I love you, will you go out with me?" With Obito would be surprised but smirk, as he would say, "Mio, there you fucking hell, bro." Messing up. As Obito would basically smirk, as he would say, "Mio, there you are. Basically, come here." As the girl would come and she would basically sit down, as then she would say, "Only if you will marry me." As basically Naruto would say yes, and yeah. And pretty much the reason why I'm doing this is because if you haven't watched this thing, it's called Over the Moon for You. It's basically a romance like thing. It's basically a couple basically getting to know each other better. And I said I was gonna do my next one. It's pretty much the same relationship, and this is how their relationship started. So something like that. But yeah, it's not exactly how it started, but that's pretty much how they asked each other out. Anyways, yeah, the girl would come and sit down and look at Naruto. As this Obito would say, "This is Umiya Uchiha. She is a grandson of a great shinobi, the greatest Uchiha to ever live, Madara Uchiha, the ghost of the Uchiha clan." As Naruto looked at her, Naruto looked at her with even more surprise, but not only with shock, but with like curiosity as well, due to him knowing who Madara is and shit like that. And yeah, as Obito would say, "Well, anyways, your second goal would be to basically merge your clan, the Uzumaki Namikaze and the Uchiha clan, with a smirk under his mask, as then Naruto would say, "How am I supposed to do that?" But then he remember how basically kids are made and shit like that, as he would basically start to blush and grab Obito by the collar, screaming, "You can't just say stuff like that." As Obito would smirk and start to laugh, as Obito would then say in a serious voice, "Now I will be giving you my powers." As then he started to glow to Naruto's surprise, as then a swirling vortex sucked him away. Just Obito, not Naruto. Just sucked Obito away. Then Naruto would feel different. He would open his eyes to reveal two eternal Mangekyo Sharingans, as Obito had fused with Naruto due to him having the same sickness as Itachi, like I said. As yeah, and basically his sickness got worse because he was having to use his eyes a lot. So yeah. Anyways, he fused with Naruto, giving him the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, as then Naruto would hug Mio, my bad. Mio, due to her basically crying, as Obito was like an older brother to her. As we skip later that week, Naruto had fully recovered from the damage that he took from the attack from his so-called family, well, brother and sister and grandfather and grandmother actually. As then we see Naruto training with Mio, as Mio had also awakened the EMS due to already having the three Tomoes by the time Naruto's beat up, and when Obito died, yeah, she awakened it. And also the EMS, because she was a pure blood and prevented her from basically going blind and straight to the EMS. And Naruto has the EMS because of this DNA from the Uzumaki, basically stopping it from basically completely draining him fast, and Kurama is healing. So yeah, it basically made him with a thingy, and also having 6-path powers. Not really 6-path powers, but like somewhat because of Ashura. So yeah. But he didn't awaken them yet. He just has it, but dormant. But it just went to his eyes and fixed stuff. So yeah. And Kurama had made it so it could open and close like any other Uchiha, as Naruto had been friends with Kurama since they were like in the beginning, when Kurama saw how Naruto was being treated, as he felt pretty bad and pretty much became friends with Naruto. As Naruto and her train until they become 13 and started to date in the process. She kind of became like married. So yeah, because when you're 13 you can marry in the ninja world and do everything an 18-year-old and whatnot should be able to do in the real world. Anyways, as then we see Naruto sleeping in a room, as Mio was sleeping on his chest, as Naruto started to basically play with her hair. As then we basically skip an hour later. Naruto and Mio were now in a different room, as they were done getting their clothing on. As then Naruto put on an orange mask with like the swirling vortex and whatnot on it. Basically this mask. And Mio put on the same mask but a black instead of orange. And Naruto basically put his hand on Mio's shoulder, as they would get swirled away in a swirling vortex and appear in front of two people. But guys, this fuck. They pretty much appear in front of two people and say it's time. But guys, this is pretty much what I'm gonna bring up. If you guys enjoyed and like, sorry about messing up a lot and even messed up somehow in the end. Anyways, yeah, before you guys go or anything, I just want to say their abilities for the Mangekyo Sharingan, or a.dTHEweeb Mangekyo. Naruto's abilities are gonna be basically his abilities are gonna be Kamui, and to be able to like, you know how Pain can use the thingy to like his Rinnegan to absorb chakra, but Naruto will be able to do the same, but without having to touch you. So like you can just be like next in the same room as him, and he's gonna absorb your chakra. But he needed to train it so that he doesn't absorb his friend's chakra and stuff like that. But now he's already able to do it between the time of training. And Mio's abilities are basically she is able to control the elements, kind of like Avatar. Like she's able to bend the elements to her will, without having to do any insight. So yeah, and her second ability is basically to be able to cast high level genjutsus. This includes the Tsukuyomi. So yeah. Anyways, and they also both have the Susanoo. So yeah, this is pretty much it for now. Get this video 25 like for the next one, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.